Hello, everybody. Welcome to another talk here. We're going to look a little bit at a Barney Kessel solo. I think I mentioned this the other day. So we're do just got some light analysis on it, and so I'm streaming this live to our YouTube members, and recording this live talk, and I will release it as a podcast this afternoon. So let's dive into this and check it out. So we did a little bit, I think, of analysis on this tune, or actually, no, I don't think we did analysis. We talked a little bit about arpeggios yesterday, so we're going to take a look at this tune here a little bit. All right, so we start. I'm going to just kind of slowly go through it. I'm going to do my best to read the tablature here as well. But let's start with that. Now this is a break, I believe, in the recording. I think this is from the Poll Winners album, Shelly Manne and Ray Brown. Okay, so I'm looking at the first measure there, and let's take a look. So we have a little bit of a chromatic passage. Now we're in the key of C, and this particular spot, we've been talking about this note here anyway. We could think of it simply as a chromatic passing tone, but we could also fit it into, it's a note that comes up in the harmonic minor, the relative harmonic minor, the A. It does come up in melodic minor and harmonic minor, but I meant to say harmonic minor. And then it also comes up in the harmonic major. Like I said, harmonic minor for A minor. Okay, so it's a note that comes up, and then also we've talked a little bit about bebop scales, so we could have really all of those notes in that one. So okay. So as far as a note outside of C major, that particular note is going to come up quite a bit. Okay. All right, let's look at the next few notes that happen there on the next four notes on beats 3 and 4. So we have G, E, C, and A. So we generally want to have some context to these things, but just looking at it kind of in isolation, we can see kind of an A minor 7 arpeggio, and we have stacked thirds. Okay. All right, so let's go a little bit further and read into the next measure here. All right, so let's see if we can gain some insights from this. All right, we have F, A, and C. We know that's a triad. Okay, and then we get this little bit of a grace note. Okay, now that's also just that note in the whole realm of C major and the whole kind of big picture of things. Right, that's kind of a blue note, right? Right, so it's a flat third. So that's something we want to be aware of. When we combine that, so we have sort of an iteration, you might say, of the A minor 7 flat 5. Okay, so that's interesting because we just talked about this A minor 7. Right? So let's take a look at no, actually I'm thinking F here. F7 So kind of an F7, like kind of an iteration of that. Okay, so we have that little bit of an arpeggio there. All right, let's go on a little further. So we have the second half of that measure. We also want to look at, kind of where this ends up resolving on the next measure. Okay, ends up on the fifth of C major. Okay. All right, so just to kind of review that. Okay, so we get a pretty big interval jump there, right, from C to B, and that's a major 7. Okay, let's go a bit further here. So we have, okay, so there we have kind of an E minor triad, and he's doing a little bit of another grace note slur into the B, the major 7. Okay, we have collectively an E minor. Now that makes sense if we play a root position drop 3 voicing C major 7. We actually have an E minor, right, over C, right? So that kind of makes sense in context there. Okay. And then we get a G, which is again an octave lower than the note we started on. So now that's likely connected in with our next note. So we'll go into that as well there. Okay, so I'm going to play that last note that we played, G, and then I'll play on a little bit further. Okay, all right. So our harmony here is C. And so these notes are pretty much in line with that, right? Okay, and then we have G to C to D, okay? And that's gonna go, you might think, since we're on C major, the ear might be expecting, but remember, at this very moment, we're going to a minor chord, so he plays this instead. Okay, so you get that. Okay, and this really just emphasizing that third, and that helps to create clarity about what that chord is. Okay, right, so we have, just looking at that, C minor there. Okay, so that's all, very C minor. And then we get this. Okay, so another kind of significant note. This comes on a strung beat. It's outside, right? So it's gonna really grab our attention. And then it's resolving into something that's more consonant, and it does that twice. Okay, so we get the flat 5. So that's another one of those kind of blue note sort of sounds that you may throw into a solo or use in a solo as a general effect on the key center. Okay, and then he ends it very similar to how he started. So remember, he played, and then he ends it. Okay, it's a very similar contour there. Oh, I'm gonna read the notation instead. It's throwing me off. Okay, so establishing really, some of those notes. He's a half step under that E flat. Okay, he's a couple times, right? Okay, kind of hear that in the line, and then a half step under the fifth. Okay. Right. Okay, and then we get this. So let's check out some more here. All right, so we're in C. So good thing we covered C the other day. Okay, so on this tune. Okay, all right, so now our next chord, or C over D. Right? Or D over C, rather. So D over C. All right, and then we're gonna slide in from 10 to 11. Okay, and then we get the 10 at the top, and then, okay, so really right in line with the chord there, you can really see kind of a D major forming in that, but we start a little bit outside of it, so a half step below it again. Okay, and then he's gonna go down to the third of the D flat major, and then slide up to that. Okay, so on guitar we can think a lot about shape, so this is kind of a good example of that. Okay. All right, let's look at what he does on the C. Okay, so we get a really good outline, very similar fashion here. We get this E, and a little bit later on we get the root, so similar. And we get a chromatic passage down to the C. Okay, let's check it out from the beginning there. Very good. So we can really see the importance of outlining chord changes, being specific with what is happening as far as the harmony at any given moment in time. All right, so let's go on a little bit. Tune. I think that should be. Okay, so let's look here. Let's find our spot and everything here. So yeah, this is a podcast. If you're checking that out, this is available as a podcast. If you're checking this out on the YouTube channel, member area, you could take this talk with you, and it could be really helpful for even just finding some moments. If you're in the car or something, or just away from a screen, and then you can take this opportunity to just listen to it, and see if you can find some moments that you'd like to go back and review and see the full video. All right, so let's see what we have here. So they've got us on 8th. All right, that's It's a nice line. So we've got, again, a little grace note to B, G, A. All right, let's check out what we have next. Okay, now we'll talk a little bit about technique. So they have a down pick, and then they have you going over the 3 notes. So that would be a sweep picking. Okay, and like that, and then 12. Okay, and then you're gonna do kind of the same thing. This time you're gonna end up on the B. Okay, so kind of raking across with the right hand and playing some of those lines. We could see and hear that we have the melody, we have the chord changes there. Okay, now this is an interesting tone on this chord. So far we had D minor, which this all fits into pretty well there. We got a 9. Now that B is getting to where we're headed here, and we get this G7. Sure everything's going all right with our stream. Screen looks a little bit frozen right now. See if there's anything I can do about that. All right, well, let's go on. Not sure what's going on with our video here. All right, looks like it's resolved itself. All right, so this is the flat 13 on the G7. That's pretty cool. All right, and then we get that sweeping motion again. So he's going for that again. It's also the flat third of the key that we're in. So that's another little insight we might want to take from that. Okay, and then we get this line comes back again. So he played that earlier, right? Okay, and then he's gonna go to the major 7. Okay, let me move over to that part of the screen here. So then we're back on C major at this point. So we get, well, that's a nice line. And so anytime you find something like that, you might try to take that and put that into your regular playing. I think that's a pretty cool line there. Okay, we also heard this earlier, right? Okay, so we have that A minor 7. Okay, and then 10 to 9. Okay, there are some chromatic tones. The 9 through to the root. 7 connected with the 6. Okay. both times going back to this E. Okay. All right, now we're going to F minor. Okay, we get another triplet. We're going straight up the arpeggio of the F minor. Okay. Okay. All right, nice. All right. All right, well, let's go a little further here. All right, so next up we have the B flat. Okay, so 11. Okay, up to 13. Okay, so we might think in terms of a chord shape there. Okay, gets the sharp 5 there. So let's see if I can, looks like we're continuing to have a couple issues with the stream here. And get that resolved. All right, so notice we had a 2 and then a 5. Okay, from the F minor. Okay, now we're going to the E flat at this point. All right. It's interesting to encircle that particular note because that's really emphasizing the sharp 5 on that, like we said earlier. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to the 5th of the E flat. To C, back to the 3rd. Okay, I'm gonna break away from the tablature. I'm trying to use the tablature as much as I can there, but so we have get that. Okay, so that's all pretty inside. So that's kind of, you might think like in terms of the E flat pentatonic we did earlier. Flat. There's a little bit of a dissonance on that. It's kind of like a sus sound. And then onto the G there. Okay, and then so that's nice. We get the sus sound. Okay, and then just going up to that E flat, bending up to that. All right. So so then we're going to get back to the beginning of the next section anyway. So I think we'll probably leave it there for today. So I'll probably be back in the other studio tomorrow. We'll see, we'll do a little more playing, backing tracks and stuff. But today I thought we'd go over these the solo, or who knows, maybe I would like to continue the second half of the solo, so actually I might end up kind of being back here. So. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for checking out this talk, and I will see you all in the next one.